Hi everybody, welcome to Queer from the Couch on the Queer Network. My name is Justin Gerhardt. This week on the couch we have the fucking coolest pastor I've ever met. Jeff Rock, who is the senior pastor of MCC in Toronto, which is the Metropolitan Community Church.
I fully believe that the section of our brain where our spirituality is held and the section of our brain where our sexuality are held are deeply intertwined.
Absolutely.
And sexuality and spirituality are so, opposite sides of the same coin. And so we need to talk about it openly. Because the unfortunate part of the sexuality and the spirituality being intertwined is it's often become very sex negative.
Yes.
And spiritual groups, religions around the world have often talked more about control and, even if you look at the oldest scriptures in the Bible that talk about sexuality, they're basically saying make as many babies as possible because we're living in the middle of the desert 3,000 years ago. So what is that scripture saying to us today, 3,000 years later? And how do we talk about this openly and honestly and debate these things and seek to find our authentic selves and find inclusion within it?
What is it like dating as a pastor of this amazing church?
So, I was mentioning this to you earlier off camera. My first week as the senior pastor, there was kind of a discovery that there's been a serial killer in the gay village here in Toronto. It was important for me to go on national media and say, so I use gay dating apps. Yep. I've been to gay nightclubs, and it needs to be safer. I need to be able to call up a friend and say, I'm going on a blind date with somebody from Tinder. Yep. But because of the shame and stigma that seeps in unconscious ways, it's becoming less and less acceptable to do that. As a religious leader, to me, it's important to lead by example and to speak with authenticity and integrity. So if anybody, on a gay dating app asks me what I do for a living, I tell them instantly, openly, and honestly, no shame, no stigma. And if you have a problem with that, that's your issue, that's not mine, right? Sometimes wearing the collar does make the dating scene a little bit more of a challenge. Because it's either you get a little fetishized, not that I mind that, but also that sometimes it scares people away. But to me, the most authentic thing we can sometimes do is share who we are with our vulnerabilities and speak with authenticity and integrity. And the only way that I think we'll build that kind of an inclusive community that I know I'm yearning for, and I think we're all yearning for, is by being willing to step up and step out and be open and honest.
What's MCC doing for Pride?
So every year for Pride, we do a huge church service right in the gay village on one of the stages from Pride. They graciously lend us the space on a Sunday morning, and we have about 1,000 people. In the past, we've had the Prime Minister, the Premier, the Mayor of the City, the Chief of Police, and a whole bunch of people coming together to really intentionally talk about meaning and value and purpose as it connects to Pride. Absolutely. And how faith belongs in Pride. So we're obviously going to be doing that this year. And we're also doing a sexual health fair. Trans people don't get sexual health education very often. We have a huge trans community. We have a lot of refugees in our midst who need, refugee appropriate sexual health information. We have a lot of young families and kids. How do you talk openly with your kids about sexual health if you're from a same gender couple with young children? Are those kids getting that education about same-gendered couples in their schooling? We'll obviously do a big Pride Parade march.
Absolutely. You guys will be in the parade.
Will we be? I am so freaking excited.
And then are you guys on Church Street as well? Because there's always vendors that line up all of Church Street on the weekend.
Absolutely. And we've even discussed having you folks and bringing one of your coaches to maybe join us at our booth.
Yes.
We'll see if we can make that happen too.
To all of you watching at home, if any of you are coming to Toronto Pride this year, which is June 22nd to 24th, 24th is the day of the parade, as well as the church service, we are going to be setting up at their booth, the MCC booth, and asking questions from our couch and featuring potentially you on Queer from the Couch. So come out and join us if you're here for Toronto Pride.
What the word queer means to me is solidarity. It means, I don't have to have anything in common with you, but we can mutually identify as queer. To me, being queer is all about coming together and working together for each other's rights and freedoms and accepting each other exactly who we are and where we are. We're moving into this more, I think, authentic understanding of who we are and what our spirituality is and what our sexuality is. So I yearn for the day when we can abandon labels and just learn to love each other as we are.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody at home. Make sure that you like this video, comment below if you have any questions for Jeff and the church. Also subscribe to this channel if you've never been here before. Also want to remind you guys at home to send in your videos and you may end up on an episode of Queer from the Couch. Any stories that you have, anything you want to share with us, maybe it's a talent, make sure you're on a couch, make sure you're queer, and send it to us. The link will be in the description. You just might end up on the Queer Network. We always end these episodes with a lovely little phrase called Queer is Here.
Queer is here.
Amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's such a pleasure to have you.